that is 3 Up, 3 Down, and I am joined by Commissioner Morehart and Brother Jeff, who are my co-hosts for the actual draft itself on Sunday. And, of course, Keith, you're the MC and the commish. Greetings. We're going to break this thing down, man.
Let's go. Yeah, assume by Sunday they'll be sick of hearing all of us talk, so let's just do a lot right now.
Pish posh. You can't get sick of hearing me talk. So, Keith, you said you wanted to start out and just kind of, I'm sure anyone who's watching probably already knows what the draft league is and what the concept is, but do you want to tell us about the overall, the origin of it, to where it came from and where we're at today?
Yeah, we have quite a few rookies, so it'd probably be best anyway to go over the draft season 4 years ago, 4 seasons ago, 3 years ago. There was a lot of talk about changing things up, and people want to do things differently, and we should do this and we should do that. And a drunken night at the bar, Scott Duncan and Mike Seals and I were they were literally just like throwing ideas. Well, we should do this and we should do this. If we actually did a draft league, you could do it this way, and that was actually when I just first started working with WAKA, and I had come to you like, hey, we could do this. You think we could make it happen? And through your guidance and patience and just general know-how, I think that first season was as good as it possibly could have gone for something that was completely different and completely new.
Who the hell's Mike Seal and Scott Duncan?
Scott Duncan was in the draft.
Who the hell are those dudes?
Scott Duncan got drafted first 2 years ago and then split. He's like, that's it. I don't need anything else.
Career highlight.
Career highlight.
I don't know who those guys are, but we have them to thank, so it's good.
Yeah. But anyway, so, draft-wise, with the first season we did it, we gave the option. I guess we still technically have the option to either be a free agent in the draft and be drafted by your peers, predetermined captains, male and female, or you could start your own team, which actually the first year we had 2 full teams that did that, and I think it was so overwhelming a response of how great the actual draft was. We haven't had one since. We've had all draft teams ever since. So
yeah, Jeff, how foolish did you feel for skipping out on the draft year 1 and starting your own team?
That was just me kind of getting into the league. Let's see, I started in the winter. Summer was my third season. And the draft just started, so there wasn't like a previous hoopla about it or anything like that. So I just wanted to play with who I knew and started a team. Hey, the good thing, though, is that it was Beast Mode, and now Beast Mode is a notable winner team.
Yeah, I'll say, even on top of that, good thing that was kind of like the first like jungle gym team. That was the first kind of like gym folks, and you wanted to bring in certain people that were at the gym with you, and obviously we see where that's.
If you looked at the squad, though, that was a good like draft team. Though we had people like Maishi, Brandon Silver, Nick Anderson was on that team.
Someone tag Maishi, man. Get him in the draft.
Yeah.
And Aaron.
Yeah.
Get them both.
Yeah, they're done having kids this second.
She only had a baby like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah.
How long does it take to
lady 2 days in the hospital?
Yeah. I mean, it's been.
I say, you just get right back into it.
She's got 2 more weeks. The season doesn't even start for.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah, you don't have to be ready for the draft. You just got to be ready for week 1.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a fun season, but definitely the next season, I've captained the last 2 seasons, and it was much more fun picking than just pre-picking.
It'll be good to have your perspective as someone who's been a 2-time captain, and I know you've captained teams before in the draft, so it'll be good to have you guys' perspective as how you approach the draft and what your feelings are and what your philosophies are.
Yeah, we have on accident, we have a nice range of never captained before, never been in the draft before, and I've done both, so we can kind of get different sides of everything. But I do like this year we kind of broke that rung of people who have been captain a lot. Somebody posted earlier, this is the first season Freed won't be a captain, but he's still in the draft, which is pretty cool. We do have some people returning, like Phil. He's captained twice before. was in the draft last year. Excuse me. We'll see some people like Fagel and Bailey and whatnot. They've captained once before, but it's cool to see a lot of new people. I guess it's inevitable because we always get new people throughout the year, but there's going to be a lot of new faces captaining teams this year, which can only be a good thing. So that's what I think where we should start is talk about the captains.
Yeah, so who do we got? We got we're filling out our 10th team right now. So we got 10 sets of captains. Talk to us about who are these guys? What are the team names? Who are the captains, colors, all that stuff?
All right. I'm just going to go in alphabetical order because that's the way this screen shows it to me. 5-week rule is the first team. That's Jeremy Smithy and Devin Rain.
I like that.
Both of them have played several seasons before. Jeremy actually is a big proponent of the draft being the league that broke his cherry and got him addicted to kickball. So if anybody is ready to captain, I'm glad it's him. 5-week rule is going to be they're lime. That's what color shirts they are. They're lime.
They asked me, Jeremy asked me the other day. He's like, hey, because you know how some captains like bring gifts as they announce their players. You come up, they give you a little token. He asked me, he's like, what do you think we should give out to the people we draft? And I said, your 5-week rule, give them a condom and say do not use until August 11th.
Do not open.
Yeah, so, he said he wasn't sure how that would be received by the people who have significant others, and it's like, well, that's their problem.
I think also there should be a clarification there too. It's not a do not use like don't be safe for the first 5 weeks. It's like don't do anything for the first 5 weeks, and then the 6th week you should be responsible.
Yeah, I guess the inside joke is, for those who haven't seen it, it gets shared like 3 times at the start of every season. But there was a Deadspin article about a letter from a captain, an angry captain to his team, saying you're not, we have a 5-week rule on this team. You're not allowed to have sex with your teammates until after week 5 because it messes up team chemistry.
Which is why I think it's funny for this particular league, because I'm sure in that league it's a 10-week league. This is a 6-week league.
Yeah.
So that last week, maybe they'll go undefeated, and that last week just shit hits the fan because they're too concerned about
maybe they
pent-up energy.
They can be a little flexible with the rules. Maybe it's more of a guideline. Maybe they go 3 weeks for this short season.
Yeah, just not the draft party. Just wait till the draft party's over. All right, so next set of captain is Bunt Pirates.
Do what you want to do, man. It's if today has taught us anything, it's love should be free.
That's true.
For all. There shouldn't be rules about when you can do what you.
First pick of the draft.
Yeah.
Love.
I'm sorry.
Keith's shirt?
Yeah.
Hey,
it's the good.
once again, if I can wear it any day, today's the day I can wear this.
So we talk Bunt Pirates.
Bunt Pirates.
Who are these guys?
It's going to be Mike Kern and Aaron Small, who are also two. So far, we have 4 hot dogs and tacos during spring season.
They're taking over.
They are. I know Kern played last year. I think last spring was his first season. So once again, somebody who had Aaron.
Yeah, this dude. I know he played in the summer league because that last bowl week he wore that wrestling onesie that was white.
Yeah.
And it was that downpour.
Yeah.
So it's just really just kind of disgusting, to be honest with you, man. This dude just in this tight wrestling outfit, and you just see his bulge and his pack, like a wet singlet contest out there.
Well, we tried. He was actually on our team. He was on Taste the Rainbow. We tried to get him to tie-dye his onesie, and I guess for whatever reason he didn't go with that.
Is that like a themed week?
No, I think it just
wore onesie.
Yeah, it was a lot of peer pressure. Like, hey, you should
pretty
wear
sure
this.
it's just what he was comfortable in.
Yeah. Got a lot of compliments last time I wore this, so I showed up on Facebook a lot.
If you got it, dude, go for it. Just flaunt it. I could literally see the outline of his pecker. I was like, damn, dude. I hope he doesn't encroach. So.
All right. Next up is I'm going to save this next one for last because we haven't announced him yet. Next is Gentlemen and Scholars, which is appropriately fitting Lenora Harper and James Maxlow. a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah. I mean, I think these guys brag a little bit about themselves. Let me know. So, yeah. Butter Jelly, he's my favorite captain to play with, man. No offense to all the other captains I've played with, but just so organized, really just a good leader. And Lenora, I'm sure he'll carry her a bit too. So
well,
Lenora's captain before, so she did Hump Day 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
so
it's right.
She's been a part of the draft process. I didn't really let her draft much, so maybe Maxwell will let her pick some.
What colors are you guys?
Let's go back to Mike and Aaron. What color are they, first of all?
Oh, Mike and Aaron, they are Rumspringa blue.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Good call. Forgot about that one. Yeah, and Gentlemen Scholars, they're going to be orange, the bright orange.
Nice.
I still consider it Battlestar orange. It's just where my head is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean,
cardiac orange.
James Maxlow. He's the only one to win Coach of the Year in VA Freedom. He won Coach of the Year last year. So.
I got to vote. Yeah.
Yeah, you picked a good person to team with, or maybe he picked you. I don't know. But all right. Next set is going to be Holy Guacamole. Which, I do like this name. It was the second set we released. That's Corey Pochop and Stephanie Ramit. Two individuals that are big into the WAKA scene right now. Yeah,
trying to help us branch out into some alternative sports. Stephanie, head of the dodgeball league, which, by the way, I mean, I said volleyball. Yeah, some ball.
Yeah.
The sand volleyball league, which is fun as hell. I actually went out last night because it was week 1 at Paradise Ocean Club, and I might be the worst volleyball player in that league, but I still had a lot of fun. It was just a good atmosphere. But nice. Sidebar, we lost both of our games, and the second game we lost like 21-6. It was just a blowout, and I'm pretty sure I was directly responsible for 15 of the other team's points. But like we didn't get serve enough, so I could never rotate out, and they just kept hitting the ball to me, and I was just like, like I was like that kid in the Adam Sandler skit, like, please don't hit the ball to me anymore.
So what you're saying is that you're not gonna have a highlight reel of volleyball.
No, I will not be making the spring or summer 2015 sand volleyball highlight mix.
Good thing there's no draft league in volleyball.
Oh God, I'd be the worst.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it was fun. So anyway, Stephanie, and then of course Corey is helping with you guys teaming up to start this dodgeball league up on Tuesday night. So you can tell these guys, obviously they have a lot of WAKA spirit. That's why they're the Holy Guacamoles.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite name in the pool.
Yeah, it's a fantastic name, and they're Irish green. So
perfect.
Yep,
just like guacamole. I get it.
So speaking of Holy WAKA members, our next group is Lemon Party. Which is Hamel, Juice Fitzgerald, and Fagel, who
is it really Hamel?
Isn't it?
What?
It's Hamel?
Jamel? It's Juice.
It's Juice.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't even his Facebook is Juice Fitz. It's his 2 nicknames. I don't
he actually has his first name on the WAKA system as Juice Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes his first name.
So. Oh. No. My bad. I apologize. Regardless, it's Juice and Fagel. They are the Lemon Party.
The J is silent.
I just knew somebody named Hamel, and now I have to explain myself, and I sound really dumb, so I'm sorry. But anyway, they're kind of an original. I mean, kind of a different captain because they weren't the original 2 captains of this team. Jason Williamson was actually the original captain with Fagel, but unfortunately he hurt his back and isn't going to be able to play this summer. And Fagel went out and found her own co-captain, and I think she did a pretty good job. Fitz is an awesome dude, really nice guy, obviously really good at kickball. So, Lemon Party is their name. Google it. Or don't Google it.
I heard they were
party time all the time.
I heard there was a rumor that they tried to change it to lemon juice.
It was
there
for
was
a minute.
already a logo made.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think they
Can't wait
batted it
till
around, and
I
then
wonder what that lemon party logo looks like.
Yeah.
Actually.
we haven't seen it yet. I'm a little
assuming
worried.
they're gold.
All right, so our next set is going to be a team that's called Let's Be Honest. That's
LBH.
Alexander Nocter and Amanda Doolittle. Probably two. I've had a bunch of conversations with people talking about captains, and inevitably people are going to say, "Oh, this is the one team I think the one set of captains I think that could pull it off." And they're two circuit players, two. Probably in their own right, if they were in the draft, would be drafted first, second round, somewhere in there. Easily top girl as well. But we've learned that's not necessarily always the case.
Let's be honest. There's a lot that goes into being a captain, right? So it's not just, and that's what I say too, because we hear that sometimes, like, "Oh, you should limit who you choose," and it's like, well, one. It's tough. I mean, who's going to be the one to say, "Okay, yeah, you're sufficiently mediocre enough to be a captain,"
Yeah.
right? That's just not realistic. And it was like, "Oh, you suck enough to be a captain, so you're good." But no, you're slightly too good.
Yeah.
But the other thing too, like you mentioned, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just about the talent that you have as individuals, but how do you draft your team? How do you set your lineups? How do you organize? Make sure you know who's showing up, and balance the egos and all that. So it's a lot that goes into it that would make you successful. So you have to have a good, well-rounded set. So not that, Nocter and Doolittle, they very well could have that skill set. So they might be the strongest overall pair, but I don't know. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, their knowledge is probably crazy too, because I remember I captained with Doolittle last year for turn down for bunts, and we were going probably into the later rounds, maybe like 5 rounds left, and on the page still available was Lindsay Strickland, and nobody knew who Lindsay Strickland was. And it ended up being Dew.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "I've been saving her. Let's draft her." She literally called her right there in the bar and said, "We're about to draft you." And
not just like the actual call. Yeah.
And I was like,
she was having her own draft watch party at home with all her friends and family, and she got the call like, "Oh, I'm in the VA Patriot League."
Well, no, it was actually at the bar when we called it. But what was crazy is that Dew ended up being like one of our top females. I mean, she was on base. Machine.
Well, and even like in the same right, Nocter, people know him for kickball or whatever. Nocter's like a super social dude. He's always at the bar. He knows he's always hanging out. There are team parties that he is not even a member of their team, and he's always at. So he knows more people, I think, than quite a few people in this league. Just not only from playing for so long, but just being social and hanging out and having a good time. So.
So that was Let's Be Honest.
Yep.
Who's next?
The next set, speaking of two circuit players as well, that their team name is That's My Man. That's AJ, Alex Jackson, and Noel Walsh.
That's a talented pair.
Yeah, probably the same level in terms of Knock and Doolittle as people are pegging them as going to have the best team, but it's all about chemistry. It's all about putting it together.
Yeah, yeah. For those who don't know, the inside joke is Noelle is Jimmy Wilcox's girlfriend, and anytime he does anything remotely decent on the kickball field, she shouts, "That's my man!" So they're having a little fun with that. So,
I like it.
It's a catchphrase.
I'd like to be on that team just because I hope the cheers. That's my man.
I just want to hear AJ say it.
Yeah. I want to start a catchphrase. I need a catchphrase.
Not there is captain. So
All right. So the next group is two returning captains, as I alluded to earlier, Phil Baltzis and Bailey Brown. Their team name is Thunder Chickens. Oh, wait. We got to go back. We didn't even say. Right there, Let's be honest. They're pink.
Okay.
We messed that up. Yeah. That's my man is black jerseys. And Thunder Chickens, they're charcoal. Foot Clan.
Okay.
I had to throw it out there.
Thunder Chickens. So Bailey and Phil, my cardiac teammates, champions, fresh off a Wentworth Trophy victory. These guys.
Let's not give Bailey too much credit. She left to go slide.
Yeah. She really helped us out in that Rumspringa game, though.
She did. I'd like to think that was tough. That was tough for you guys.
It was tough, actually. I
don't want to be biased, but Phil is probably my favorite person to play with. You pick Max Lowe. Phil is awesome to play with. I would never not want to play on a team, even if it was named Thunder Chickens. I
like Thunder Chickens.
Yeah, is that a? I don't get that reference.
I don't know the exact reference.
I don't even want to Google it. Just based on the history of some of these other team names, I'm afraid of what I'll find.
Yeah.
I just,
if there is Google pretext, I don't think they know it. I do know. I jokingly, Bailey and I had a conversation about naming their earmuffs for any children listening. I told Bailey jokingly that she should name her team Thunder Cunts.
We are in prime time here.
That obviously is not something that the WAKA website would let us do. And I assume because shortly after that she came back and was like Thunder Chickens. It was between that and something else. So I like it.
I thought it was Thunder Cocks because chicken and cocks.
Could be. I don't know.
Maybe chicken is what she calls her cunt.
We'll ask her at the draft tomorrow.
Yes. On stage, I'll ask her. So Bailey,
topic of discussion.
So
don't sit next to us.
Apparently, there is an Urban Dictionary.
Thunder Chicken.
You should read
There's
it
actually
It's a jerk.
It's drugs. Yeah.
It's drugs.
Drugs.
Ew.
You're bringing Phil down already. Season hasn't even started. All right. Next group is the team we announced last night. Our very first brother-sister sibling duo. We got Nick Sutton and Christy Sutton, which this made me happy. Christy Sutton messaged me, said she wanted to captain after we had most of our teams in, and I kind of solicited needing more captains. She's like, I don't really have anybody. Who should I get? And she actually was like, I'm going to convince my brother. And she came back and she said, oh, he doesn't want to do it. And then a couple hours later, she goes, I convinced him to do it. He's going to sign up, which is great because he wasn't signed up at all. So I don't know if he was not going to play. He hasn't been playing Peninsula because I know he's on the other side and busy.
He still lives in Virginia Beach, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh. So it was awesome that she convinced him to play. And then they have their team name. I hope I pronounce this right. It's Truffle Bouter Jelly Time.
Truffle. Oh, jeez. Truffle butter jelly time.
Truffle butter jelly time, yes. I'd like to think they're paying a little homage to the peanut butter jelly time.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly it's a play on peanut butter jelly time and Nicki Minaj or whatever.
Yeah, a little inappropriateness there. And their jerseys will be white.
At least it's not brown.
Yeah.
We don't have that option anymore. So, and then the last set of captains, which officially haven't been announced yet, just because we're still technically waiting on 2 more girls, which I know we'll get before midnight hits. But the last set of captains is Tim Nellis and Nicole Dewey, and their team name. And he sent me a picture. I assume this is where it comes from. Their team name is Finger Bang, which if you've watched South Park, it's their boy band. Yeah. So that's where that comes from. Nothing else.
Finger bang, bang, finger bang. I've seen it.
Yeah. So look for that collage later.
Oh, man. A couple of smoking bunts there. So.
Yep. Tim Nellis led Smoking Bunts to a championship bout this past weekend. Came up a little short, but still. Only 2 teams made it to that game. One had to walk away winner. One had to walk away loser.
That's how it goes, man. Usually when I'm involved, it goes one way. So,
and they will be purple. Their team
very nice.
Shirts will be purple. So, all right. So those are our captains. We have 10 teams. They'll be drafting on Sunday to pick all you fine folks. In what order, we will find out later. So you have to keep watching.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute.
What are the size of the teams?
It looks like we're going to end up with about 11 guys and 6 girls on each roster, give or take one. It really depends. Yeah.
which is about what we've had the
tonight.
past 2 seasons. Typically, we've had a couple extra girls than guys. So, like if we had 10 guys and 7 girls, but it's been right around 16 or 17. So, which is certainly for a 6-week season, 16 you can definitely get away with.
So, Jeff, and Keith, you too, since you've both been captains, tell me about your strategy as far as how you approach the draft. What are your priorities to get in the early rounds? What are you looking in the mid and late rounds?
Well, the early rounds, in my opinion, you just pick the best available player on the board. I mean, I don't think you should try to position it, and that's just my opinion. You just want the best overall player because it is a 2-sided game, offense and defense. So, that being said, just being a pitcher and a catcher, it's very well rounded. Like I don't have to subject myself to, all right, first round, I'm gonna get the best catcher on the board or the best pitcher on the board. I'm gonna get the best player on the board. Now,
what as someone who isn't as skilled as you, what how did you approach it?
So,
I was like, wait, did that sound like a dick?
No, you're very humble.
We actually drafted our team very selfishly. First of all, I like to pitch. At least back then, I liked to pitch. So I tried not to draft a pitcher because I knew I wanted to pitch, regardless if Flores was still on the board. I wasn't going to draft him because I would feel bad not pitching Flores because he's a much better pitcher than I am.
Hey, you also told me he was overrated. That was off the camera. That was before the. Is Flores in the draft? He's not in the draft, is he?
I don't think so. I think he's out of town a lot this summer.
Yeah. But
and then after that, obviously we wanted to pick positions and still go for skill players. But my co-captain Jamie Lacrosse and I, we wanted to play with people that we had never played with before. So certainly we wanted to win, but for the most part, we wanted to have a good team and have fun. So we made sure we picked, other than my wife ended up being on our team, and then I think Mike Wazinski, and then that was pretty much it. I'd never played with anybody else that was on our team, so that was kind of that. I remember we'd gotten to the point to where we should have drafted, or we had the choice between it was Casey Heck and somebody I know we had played with before. I can't remember who it was, and both of us were just kind of like, well, we never played with Casey. He's a good guy. Seattle Jesus. We're gonna pick him regardless. So. That was our strategy. Probably not a lot of people's strategy, but I really like their team, so it worked for us.
Yeah, but there's no wrong way to do it, right? I think because you were saying the other day at the gym, it's really just each captain's going to have their own priorities and their own preferences. Some may be going for people that they have never played with. Some may be going competitive. Some may just be trying to put together a team that. Jorts talked about one year being a captain. He chickened out on it. He didn't do it, but he said he was going to just draft all the biggest dudes in the league, and he was going to call the team Beef Thief, and that their goal was just going to be to kick away every at bat. He chickened out on it, but it's something that could still happen one day. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely depends on the set of captains.
Even like last season, the Schmituation. Their goal was to draft all people whose names started with SH or SCH.
I didn't even know that. Shaw.
They draft Shaw, Schmidt.
Yeah.
They drafted not all, but a lot of
as much as they possibly
people.
could. Yeah.
So there's no wrong way to do it.
Absolutely, there's no wrong way to do it. So let me ask you: you've never been a captain. What would if Sunday was your first draft? What would be your strategy?
I'd probably be a little bit in the, somewhere in between. So I think I would probably in the early rounds go for those infield defense positions because there's not a lot of elite players at charger and catcher. So that would be my top priority, while also taking into consideration the personalities and my history, whether I've played with them or not. So I would be more biased to someone who I don't know as well, rather than someone I do. But that's probably where I'd go, somewhere in the middle, and I think that's probably where most captains fall.
Yeah, I think one good thing about this type of league, the type of drafting is nice is, so if your strategy is to go for position players or whatever the case is, when it eventually comes down to finding people to fill those holes. Like, let's say, for example, last year we knew, like, our first pick was Joe Purcell. He's an elite Charger. We didn't really have like a catcher we necessarily knew we wanted. There were some people like Casey on the board, and we ended up getting Andy Doy, who was just a person that I really wanted to play with for a long time.
Doy.
I knew he could play outfield. I knew he could pitch. I knew he could catch.
Walk the flame, right?
He can kick,
I mean, versatile guy, but drafted him personality-wise for sure. And he turned out to be, unfortunately, it was his last season, but he turned out to be a really good catcher that we didn't know was that good at that position until then. So it was that's kind of the beauty of this league is you're drafting people for one reason, and then maybe by the end of the season you're going, man, that was kind of a sleeper pick. I mean, we picked him at like the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah.
But the way he played for us as a catcher, he turned into easily. I would have picked him earlier if I'd have known.
That's where your draft is, though, I feel like, in my opinion. I mean, obviously your first and second pick are going to be your studs, but that draft is going to come in the later rounds. I mean, who you get, who you steal, pretty much. I mean, if you look at last year with Max Lowe being in the championships, and Max Lowe is just a known coach. I'm a good kickball player, but he's a known coach. They were in the championship, and the year before was, Nick Schmidt and Amelia, known coach. I mean, they got a couple of steals. I know last year, I think Max Lowe got Trey Simmons in the 5th round or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's where
no one knew who he was, but
Yeah.
Max Lowe knew who he was.
that's where your draft is going to come from.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly think too, even like really later rounds, not just the middle 5 through 10, even later than that. I mean, if somebody is falling that you've played with, and even if they're just that reliable girl in right field, or the one girl who can put down a bunt, whatever it is, you can still steal players that way. It's all about value.
This year is going to be crazy because just looking at this list, there's dozens that I don't even know the names of, and I feel like they're rookies.
Oh, Sunday should go well on the draft podcast.
Yeah. So, I mean, even Keith would put up
My
there.
back
Like,
is already sore, and I'm gonna have to carry you through this broadcast. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, there are a lot of rookies.
new names.
There are a lot of rookies this year, and a lot of people who've only played like a season 2 or have been playing like Clore or something that have come over this way. I mean, there's a lot of names that. I mean, this is a perfect season to meld to learn these names and faces, and then to retain them for the next season. But it's going to be, come draft Sunday, there's going to be quite a few people I think are surprised, not only who they're picking, but where they're going, just because there are a lot of new names out there.
I think you're right. It is the kind of the perfect season for a rookie to break in. Now, unless their goal is to be drafted high, which obviously no one knows you. You're not going to get picked high, unless you have a really good Facebook profile, and then some captain's like, oh, this guy looks athletic. I'll take him. But,
this
you
chick
take-
ran a tough mother. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Well, she looked like she might play soccer at one point in her life. But you look at why it's a perfect league, because you get mixed in with players of all different skill sets, all different experience, as opposed to like take Wednesday nights, team like Pitch and Dez, they come in and they're all rookies except for 2 of them. And they just, they had a good attitude and they tried hard, but they didn't have a lot of success on the field because it takes time to get good at kickball. Well, if you're a rookie, you get in this league, you got people to teach you and also kind of cover you up a little bit. So you're one of 16 or one of 17 instead of, 15 of 17 rookies,
I think it's easier too to have that balance of like wanting to be competitive, because obviously with top picks you're going to have competitive players, and also being social, because that's the point of the league, is to intermingle. So
make friends.
Yeah. So where maybe a brand new team like Pitch and Dez or even Jugs on Friday, I'm sure their goal is to be social, period. Like, they're not trying to go out there and win a championship. I mean,
Right.
not that they're not trying, but I'm sure that's not their goal. So they don't have to focus on either of those things, because they're both going to come naturally in this league. You're going to be relatively competitive because that's the way it happens, and you're going to be social because it's
the way it
17 people that you've never played with before, probably.
That's right. Yeah.
So, all right, well, we've broken that down. I want to ask you guys, before we do the draft, if we went into specifics, we asked how you would draft. But specifically, let's talk about top guys. We'll do girls in a second. Top guys. If you're a captain tomorrow, on Sunday, if you're a captain on Sunday, who are you looking to draft? You can do it either as one of these captains or if you were a captain yourself.
Well, you know what? I think it's a little presumptuous to think that I would choose a guy, Keith.
True.
Yeah.
True.
This is a co-ed sport.
But
So
I didn't
maybe
say,
I would take this as an opportunity to tear down the patriarchy. That is.
well, you're jumping the gun. I didn't
adult
say
football.
who would you
Right.
draft first. I said let's start with guys. Of the guys, who would
okay.
you draft first?
All right. Of the people, I would draft Gene Eford first because
Okay.
he's the best player.
Okay.
Not because of his gender, though. I would draft him in despite of his gender. In fact. So.
Okay. Jeffrey.
Gene's the top one. I mean, am I just picking my top three or just my?
Yeah,
top
I mean, just
pick?
pick a couple people.
Well, I already,
You can.
Gene,
if I
I
could-
already picked Gene, so you got to go
Okay,
your
so I'm
second.
just going
Yeah,
second.
let's do a top 3-round male mock draft between Brent and Jeff right now.
Oh, shit, man. I'm not prepared.
There you go.
If I had to pick next, it'd probably be Randy Devlin would be my second.
Okay, I'm gonna throw myself in here.
What, you pick third?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick third. If we're
Oh.
doing a mock draft, I just made this up, so
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick third.
You better have somebody in mind. You're looking around right
I
now.
have somebody in mind. Calm down, jeez.
Hey, hold on. Everyone be patient while Keith does his research. For this.
Just after last season,
Keith has got to do
Um,
some research for this impromptu mock draft.
just after last season, helping a team like Solange get to the finals, I would go Jimmy Wilcox. I think
That's a good
he's
pick.
super versatile and an awesome dude.
I say go into my big board. I'd go with Joe Prezo.
2 Chargers. Smart.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Hey, you know, 3 Chargers if you count me.
Do we? No, wait, no, I'm sorry.
I would choose them because they're 2 great Chargers, and then I would just start myself over them to feel superior to them. Like, hey, second string, get me some water.
Gene, sit this inning.
Hey, we'll let you get the bottom of the lineup, Gene. I got
You be that wraparound guy.
yeah.
Can I pick now?
Gene, you take the 3rd inning. I got 1st and 2nd and 4th and 5th.
I've never played with this guy before, and he just signed up today. I'm thinking I'd go with Adam Tatum.
I was just gonna
Took
say,
my guy.
yeah.
Damn it.
Yep.
I think actually going speed is really smart early. I think that's one thing we kind of lacked last year. So I'm going to go Trey Simmons.
Trey's a good pick. I'll add my 3rd Charger. I'll go with Brad Kirby. So I can charge it. So I start over all 3 of them.
You got a nice outfield there.
Well, I'm creating a lack of resources because then now you guys don't have any Chargers.
Trade
So-
fodder.
Yeah. And I got guys who can bunt deep.
Well, I played with this guy in Bizarro, and he's actually
Moneyball right here.
he's actually a good catcher in my opinion, and he could be a leadoff. I'd probably go Jeremy Edge right now.
Yeah.
He can get on
good.
base and he can play the skill position.
So I'm going to short my infield. This may be like the New York Knicks or New York Jets pick where I get booed, but I'm gonna short my infield. I have my Charger. I have my catcher. I like to play first. I'm going to go for my pitcher, and I pick Big Jeff Schilt. I love playing with that guy on Fridays.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock, guys.
It's time to go.
I love playing.
No, I'm going to draft 2 guys. So I wasn't.
In this
Oh, yeah,
mock draft,
oh,
you're
yeah.
both captains.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I forgot. Because that was the whole purpose of me picking 3 Chargers.
All right, so we did that. Now let's do. We don't need to mock draft ladies, but who would you be looking for? Because actually, somebody posted earlier about all the ladies they haven't seen in the draft pool this season.
Yeah.
There really are quite a few just taking the summer off, for whatever reason. But we still have 10 teams, 5 ladies. There's still 50 ladies that are going to be drafted on Sunday. So they're out there. Who? Give me a couple of your top girls right now.
I'll go with Jamie Lacrosse. Offensively, I think she's a weapon and she's a solid defender. But on my big board, Jen Miller was the top female, and I think she's probably still the best all-around female available.
Yeah, Jen Miller's my top. If I had to pick two kind of females that might slide, is one would be Katie Karstens, and the other one would be Amy Cogan. I mean, she's, especially in a draft league where it's not like, your team's not like crazy stacked or crazy deep. She's a good three kicker. Like, she gets the ball on the ground. So,
and a really solid outfielder.
And she can catch the ball, and that's just
good teammate.
That's valuable in a team in a league like this. So.
I think some of the other girls. Katie Wellbrock is out there. She signed up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Speak of the devil.
I put the official name change in the WAKA system at her request. And then I think a few other girls that are out there that are worth mentioning. Jennifer Gold. She played with Pitching Des. I mean, she was really impressive. I think she was their best player by far. I would see her as being one. The interesting thing is, like, with the girls is that, like you said, there's a lot of girls taking the summer off for various reasons. I think all of VA Hustle, with the exception of maybe a couple of them are playing or not playing. So I think once that first girl comes off the board, you're going to see a run on girls because captains are going to start to panic and they're going to start to go there. They don't want to be left out there. So that'll be one of the more interesting things to see on Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I think two ladies I want to kind of throw out there that I would
beer bitch right there. I'll draft you for that position.
Two ladies I want to kind of throw out there that I would certainly, if I were a captain, I'd be looking for. Maybe after that first girl goes, and I would feel comfortable even drafting them top. Just I know they're going to fall a little bit because people don't know them yet. They're two Wands players on Friday, Brandy Zutel and Jessica Jokovic. Both of them, good. They are above solid on defense. And Brandy Zutel has a leg. I mean, she's going to drop bombs on you. And Jess she's a good bunter, but she's actually just in the 10 weeks. She's only played 10 weeks. Just in those 10 weeks, she's gotten a pretty good kick as well. So
I can't think of a better compliment to give to some female kickballers than above solid. Like, you are really singing their praises right now.
Why do I always have to explain myself? I feel a lot of times people say, like just with Amy, we talked about how she's a solid defender. I mean, that's what most people say with females. They are above, like Jess played first base for them almost all season after the first week.
Do you have that adapter? My thing's running low on battery. It's an old computer, so do you have a 3-prong adapter?
Anyway, it's totally a great compliment to both you ladies. Don't listen to these fuckers right here.
No, those girls are good.
Are we going? Are we doing our sleeper picks too?
Yeah, go ahead and we'll talk about sleeper picks while Brent and his old computer are getting plugged in.
Where did I put that?
If I had to pick two sleeper picks, just looking at this list.
God, Brent, act like you've been here before.
My opinion of sleeper picks is people that, they're semi-new in the league. One I see right here. I'm waiting until I find my other.
Where's my?
Well, he started maybe a year ago, but Ryan Warner to me is a sleeper pick. Above all.
I would say at this point he's not a sleeper anymore. No. Yeah, I mean, he is.
If you
probably a year ago, but he just won a championship.
I would say if you were there Saturday, he was probably our MVP for the entire day.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So, and then I don't want to hurt any captain's draft.
Do it,
man.
But
they got to be responsible for their own research.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard nothing but good things about this Cosma guy.
Eric Cosma?
Yeah. Never met him, but I want to play with him.
Yeah.
We already blew up this spot, man. Jordan and I scouted him. We got him on our big board.
Right.
I'll tell you a couple rookies, and this is purely from Facebook stalking and then their survey draft results. There's a rookie out there, Adam France.
Oh, dude.
That soccer player, pretty enthusiastic. Brent Twitter stalked him
Yeah.
and found out that he was done playing soccer for whatever reason and just said, hey, come play kickball. He goes, okay, I'm in. And, I mean, he's in. Like, literally that day he signed up, and I've been Facebook stalking him ever since. I think he would be the Michael Bailey of this year's draft, if you will, a couple years ago.
I'm not throwing that one. Dude, Adam France, he's a 21-year-old kid. How I actually initially got across his account is I was searching Twitter for 21st birthday. It was the search I was using, and it came up. And, well, yeah.
21-year-olds.
You know, I was looking for 21-year-olds. So he said, hey, it's my 21st birthday. I'm partying or whatever. And I wrote back. I was like, now you started following me. And then, like, when I saw his post the other day, he was like, hey, I think I'm done with soccer. I want to try something else. I was like, kickball, man. It's perfect time. So he signed up. But his timeline is crazy. If you guys are on Twitter, you should follow him at what's his name?
I'm not on Twitter.
While I was looking for it, everybody be super nice to this guy regardless.
I don't know.
Even if he turns, be super nice to this guy
Is this not?
because we want all his